Hi, everyone. Welcome to People Watch, the official podcast of the People Management Association of the Philippines.
Here, there are no motherhood statements, no hiding behind obsolete theories and adages, and no time to beat around the bush.
Just real talk with real people. I'm Joe Vinier, and I'll be hosting this show once again with Miss Joan Chong.
Hi, Job. How are you today?
Same as last week.
Mas malamig ngayon, di ba? Hindi masyadong mainit.
Not as humid as the other day, but still not advisable to be out and about, especially till 4 p.m. And I think our guest today is also from Cebu. Tell you more.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. What's heating up Cebu, especially in the coming months.
Oo nga. Diba, we're also anticipating the PMAP Annual Conference, no? And he's here to talk about that. Have you attended the annual conference before, Joe?
I have attended previously, lalo pa pag nandito sa Cebu, and then last year I was in Manila.
It's nice.
Yes, it was.
Ako, if ever, first time.
Yes.
If ever, I'm annual conference virgin.
You should be here, and we'll do live podcast.
Oo nga, that would be fun.
Yes, and then kasi last year they were expecting 500. Nilimit nila kasi still, part of the COVID protocols. But
right,
it was jam-packed. And there were so many who wanted to, once again, be part of the face-to-face conference. So, our guest.
Yeah, our guest for today is currently the Chief People Officer and Vice President for Human Capital and Admin of the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated, with a comprehensive 20 years of people management background. And he's also a certified Chief Human Resources Officer from the Asian Institute of Management. He's a chapter president for PMAP Cebu chapter for 2018. He's a member of the Board of Trustees from 2019 until 2021 and is currently the Vice President for PMAP National. He's a member of the Society of Fellows in People Management and also a mental health advocate. Let us welcome Mr. Michael Godinez.
Hi,
sir.
Hi, John. Hi, Sir Jobs.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being a part of our People Watch for this week's episode.
Glad to be here.
How are you, sir?
As I was listening to you earlier, indeed, I still think it's quite hot in Cebu. No, I'm right here in my office and my aircon is full blast. It's about 20 degrees, because it's really hot outside. So, trying to enjoy the free aircon here in the office, Sir Jobs.
It actually preserves you, sir.
Oo nga. And we're here, no? Because we've also invited you because we would like to hear about your plans for the AC.
Hindi air conditioning, Hindi air conditioning.
Oo nga. Annual conference, not air conditioning. Ayan. We're all excited and we're looking forward to it. What is in store for us this year?
Yeah, it will be probably one of the biggest annual conferences that PMAP will really celebrate. No, for example, this is our 60th year of doing annual conferences. So this is really a big deal for us in PMAP, and this is actually on October 25 to 27, and it will be held here in the Queen City of the South, Cebu. No, so we are really excited to welcome our guests from all over the country.
So
nice.
Sir, 60th, sir. So you were only 2 years old when
my mom was basically born during that time, Sir Jobs. I'm pretty sure you know her kasi kabatch kayo ng nanay ko eh. So
yeah, kasi
bookingan na.
May discount kami dito eh.
60th year. So this is our kung isipin parang senior citizen na si annual conference. Can you imagine that?
So what are the ingredients of parang kasi aside from the theme, parang there's continuity from last year's theme, yung core generation, and as this year's theme, and what is the entire package all about in terms of surprises, excitement, and delights for our participants will be coming all over all over the Philippines and maybe even outside of the Philippines.
Yeah, agree. This is really more of a continuation. If you would call last year, ang ganda ng impact ng co-regeneration na theme ng conference, no, and that was championed by our president. She was vice president then, and president now, President Beth Nasol, and that made an impact to a lot of us HR leaders. And in as much as we'd like to really amplify the concept, now we also need to give parang time for us to really celebrate the 60th of PMAP. So that's why we're taking it to the next step, Sir Jobs. If you would notice, the theme for this year is PMAP Rebirth. No, it's a 6.0. It's a 6.0 because I know we've been talking about People Revolution 5.0, but there's meaning to the 6.0. First, again, it's the 60th anniversary of the annual conference, but we are also looking at the 6 major mandates, which we will be sharing with you as later. Then, and it is also important for us to understand that for the last 60 years, this is basically parang ito talaga yung trademark ng PMAP as an organization, as a premier people organization. We make sure that during our annual conferences, we really talk about the elephant in the room, especially for people concerns. So this is such a bold time for us to discuss about our concerns, especially coming from the last 2 or 3 years, na parang we have been talking about transition, but this year we felt like it's no longer about transition. It's time for us to refocus. After all the things that we have learned, experienced during the pandemic, we need to refocus. I mean, for us people managers, what do we really need to do? It's not really thinking about transitioning anymore, but we need to refocus on things that really mattered. Then we feel like there's a need for us to reconnect. That's why we're also tapping other people organizations, other government agencies, even the academia for partnership, because we need to reconnect. We've been disconnected by the whole pandemic experience, and of course the call for us now is to restart. There are a lot of organizations that have continuously thrived, flourished during the pandemic, but we also have to give consideration to those organizations that were put on hold. Maybe others really not stopped. So we need to bring them up, and the call for us to restart. People management in the Philippines is one of the best in terms of practices in people management in Asia. So we need to restart, and PMAP will champion this. We need to bring this to everybody's, to all people managers awareness that we are here. We are on our 60th, and we will be a new PMAP. This is a new PMAP, very very new, and this is something that we really look forward to.
Ang laki ng venue niyo, sir, kasi may elephant in the room, hindi siya magkakasya, maliit yung venue.
We will accommodate a lot of elephants, giraffes. So it's like Noah's Ark, Sir Jobs.
Noah's Ark. So have you been to Cebu, Sir Mike?
I want to go, but I'm quite busy, so I'll try to take a cab earlier because I'm specifically 5 minutes away.
So actually, Cebu is one of my favorite cities, in the Philippines. It's very relaxed.
So when was the last time you visited us, Miss Joan?
Nako. I think that was last year.
Kaya pala favorite. So consistent. Kasi it's one of my favorites. Tapos when was the last time? 20 years pa.
Short trips, but always a treat, diba?
Yeah.
The food is good, the people are friendly.
Yeah. Why Cebu? Of course, you're the chair of this year's annual conference, but why Cebu?
PMAP has had a very, I would say, parang memorable experiences when they hold the annual conference in Cebu. One of probably yung mga, when it comes to attendees, it's basically the parang like marami talagang pumupunta ng Cebu, definitely, because I think also for the longest time, this is a very strategic parang move for the organization, because we all know, especially most of our members, probably 80% of our members, 80 to 90% are actually from the National Capital Region, and definitely even people managers, they need to travel and relax their jobs, so this is a good opportunity for them to go out of NCR, for those who have not done traveling yet. So maybe this is the best time, and also this is actually more or less the melting pot. No? It's in the center. We also have members from Mindanao, from other islands in the Visayas. So Cebu seems to be the center, and being a grand AC, one of the grandest AC, we would like to be really inclusive and invite people around the country. So Cebu is a strategic location. It's in the center.
In terms of topics and themes, I know it's really a grueling job to come up with a new set of topics every single year, and so a lot of thought processes go into each one. So what's the main consideration? I know AI is at the forefront of everybody's thoughts right now. So aside from technology, Sir Mike, ano ba yung mga kailangan, kahit mo lang top 3 yung mga dapat pag-usapan and that people can expect a lively engagement from?
Actually, one of the best thing about this conference is this is parang ano din siya, parang we have invited really the best people leaders or people management influencers in the whole country. We have representations, of course, from our main, from the NCR, and of course people from the Visayas and the Mindanao, because we want AC to also parang consider what are the other concerns, but what are the people management concerns of the regions. I mean, at the end of the day, I think especially the pandemic, it has flattened all of our concerns. So you mentioned about AI. We also wanted to really showcase Pinoy's best. We really want to also highlight that at the end of it all, we can look at we can benchmark, we can look at other countries' people management practices and all that. We can benchmark, but we realize that one of the best people managers are actually here in the country. We have seasoned people managers that very Filipino. Everybody can relate. Even if we have a lot of international organizations in the country, there is that Filipino flavor, and that is also one thing that we'd like to highlight, that you don't have to go far to look at the best people management practices. We have it here, and we'd like to highlight that during the conference. And of course, we want to be future inclusive. Talk about the future. Well, AI is part of that, but it's more than AI. It's really about the different forms of employment. Now you have the gig economy. People want formal employment. They just want to go on project for project, and our laws are not that ready yet, but people are going toward the nomad workers. You can find them anywhere, and we will also talk about how technology has really impacted on how we deal with them. The penetration of AI. I think it's a hot topic now, but hopefully by October, it's something that we will have a more concrete understanding of how AI would be used in HR, will take over HR. I mean, that's something that we might be, if we don't know much, parang nakakatakot, diba?
I asked a senior manager kung alam niya yung AI. Sabi niya ang kilala lang niya si AI de las Alas. Yun lang daw yan.
Maybe we need really ChatGPT to know if maganda yung joke na yun, Sir John.
Or you need sabi nga ni Miss Joan, baka na pwede ChatGPT ay papalit sa akin. I'm a nomad worker, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. Even if you're like a boomer, Sir John, but you're behaving like a Gen Z, di ba?
I am kasi mas gusto ko yung nomad kasi yung mad worker, mahirap i-deal yun eh. So, hindi mad. Yun ang gusto ko. Di ba, Miss Joan?
Oo nga eh. And speaking of yung mga different topics that you are going to introduce sa AC, who are you expecting to attend? There are a lot of people managers in PMAP, Some are more seasoned, some are fairly new in the industry.
Exactly.
Is this going to be will they relate to the topics given their different backgrounds?
Exactly, sir. Mike, yun ang concern kasi meron tayong, for example, AI for them is 5 years down the line pa kasi nga ngayon the way they do things napaka-manual and I don't think it's easy for them to invest in some of those things. Plus they might have anxiety over those things. Ang laki ng gap. So we have a full range, and hindi lang siya in NCR alone. No? It doesn't mean that the farther you go down, Mindanao, for example, na masyadong over the head concepts yan, but it can be anywhere in the mix. So how do you attract all, or a good mix, a good representation of everybody?
I think that is something that the annual conference has, even from the past, has always been very successful. It's a very inclusive conference. Even the design, if you look at the design, there are plenary sessions, which basically captures the general concerns of HR practitioners. It will definitely catch the interest of everybody from a mere associate all the way to executives, HR executives. These are actually, this has always been the brand of the annual conference. It's very inclusive. We have, again, plenary sessions to look at the universal concerns, but we also have concurrent sessions that even for HR, it's not just about like being young or being an expert already. There are also certain specialization in HR now, right? So that's also something that we have really, I would say, carefully designed, that all of the tracks in our concurrent sessions would be really inclusive. So people from different, like for example, maybe in terms of their HR exposure, HR interest, they can very much choose amongst the concurrent sessions and really focus on things that are significant and important to them. So that's the beauty of the annual conference. It's designed actually that way, and it is proven to be a very effective crowd drawer, regardless of where you are in your HR career in the organization.
Actually, yun nga yung pinaka-challenge when I'm a participant in any conference, no? So, which concurrent session should I choose? Sometimes parehong gusto ko, no? How do anong gagawin ko if I miss out on one of these, diba? Are there any recordings? Is there any way for us to backtrack also?
Ang inaabangan ko lang doon, Ms. John, kung alin doon yung pinakamadaming raffles.
Hindi, actually, yes. That's true, Miss John. Actually, especially last year, when I think before hindi siya nabibigyan ng platform, but because of the whole experience of COVID, and we are now doing hybrid and all that, even this conference is hybrid. So even the participants can choose if they want to go enjoy Cebu, and while others are probably quite busy or medyo limited din yung resources, they can actually join us online. And the good thing is, if you are a registered participant of the conference, if like sabi mo nga, yung concurrent sessions, mayroong magkasabay na gusto mo, you can actually go back and review or also listen to the recording of that concurrent session. So parang actually it's a very full pack learning experience for you, kasi yung concurrent session means you get to participate and also learn, no? So medyo that's the beauty about technology now, no? So again, part of the concept is really multiverse, no? So ang dami yung pwedeng sources of learning and information. So that's really good. That's really exciting.
I love it. You mentioned also kanina, may mga ibang we'd like to invite a lot of different participants all over the Philippines. And sa mga first timers sa Cebu, what can they expect as well? Iikot ba natin sila? Hindi ka pwede dyan, Jove. Nandyan ka na eh.
Sila pala po si Magellan.
First timers, the first timers to visit the island, right?
Yes.
Sir Mike, I just have a question. Si Lapu-Lapu at Magellan nag-aaway pa rin hanggang ngayon. Okay na sila.
Hindi ko pa rin alam, sir, kasi hindi pa kami nakakapasok doon sa area na yun, naka-cordon pa eh. So we don't really know.
Kasi magsisigidad kayo eh, so baka yung question.
Kasi yan, kamag-anak ko sila Lapu-Lapu. Ako, descendant ako ni Magellan eh. So
Spanish talaga.
But anyways, Ms. John, the good thing about Cebu is it's a very small community, no? Even kahit na puno ka doon sa conference, that after the conference we usually end early afternoon, that you can still parang make ikot around the city because it's a small city. Transportation is very much available, just about any form of transportation. Wala lang kaming MRT, but there's a lot of taxis, Grab, that ang dali lang umikot.
Convenient na.
Then, sabi nga nila, it's a 45-minute city, like 45 minutes from the main city, you can go to the beach. 45 minutes from the main city, you can go to the mountain. So It's complete. It's small, it's concise, and it's a very comprehensive experience. If you wanna to have it all: the beach, the sun, the mountains, the city, the noise of the city, the pollution, even the flooding, if you want.
Pero Sir Mike, may mga special like on the fun side, I mean, aside from learning is fun, on the other side, like for example, yung mga tours, meron bang mga ganun that they can, incorporate talaga yung mga activities na yun?
Yes, we're trying to cook something for the participants, especially like even after the conference, and if you want to extend and enjoy, maximize your quote unquote vacation in Cebu. We can actually help you with that. We are making arrangements with tour providers at the same time, especially what Cebu would like to showcase is really our culture and heritage, and that's the best thing. More or less, Filipinos, alam naman natin, Jollibee is part of our culture na, no? So Jollibee is nationwide, but there are certain lang talaga na parang you can find in Cebu, certain places or parang practices that's just uniquely Cebu. So that's where
alam ko dyan yung sunburst Tama ba?
Oh,
Yung chicken?
Saka yung Jollibee Colon, wala yan sa ibang part ng Philippines.
What's Jollibee Colon?
Sa Colon mo makikita, Colon Street.
Colon Street is the oldest city.
For example, wala rin kaming Jollibee
John,
Mandaluyong.
I thought after how many months of talking to Sir Jobs, you're already used to his nonsense jokes.
Hindi pa nag-a-adjust pa rin ako
Okay. Now I know you have a very busy months ahead of you as the chair of this major undertaking for PMAP. So we'd like you to invite once again and maybe fill in the details. Saan po and kailan here in Cebu?
Yes, sir. Again, the 60th PMAP Annual Conference will be on October 25 to 27. So it's a 3-day full learning experience. No? So there are not just the whole 3 days. No, meron tayong mga side learning mga sessions. No, even before, if you that's actually also for free. So a day before the 25th, may 24, meron ng mga activities dyan. If those who are interested to come to Cebu quite early, so meron na tayong mga activities that naka-line up. And even after the conference, as mentioned, maybe there are tours that we'd like to offer to the participants who'd like to really enjoy, Cebu. No? But at the end of the day, the core message here is we will celebrate our 60th anniversary of the annual conference. So that's a rebirth talaga, because PMAP, more than any other people organization, you have always been known to really revolutionize, to reinvent, to rebrand. In fact, one of the call for this conference is Padayon, which in Cebu, it's a Visayan term, it's a Cebuano term, which means we need to continue. We at the end of it, it's still a call. No? That's our call to action. At the end of this conference, it's Padayon. We need to continue doing what we do as people managers, because this is our biggest contribution to nation building. At the end of the day, we're doing this because we wanted to bring back our country to its best possible situation. But at the end of the day, it's really still about nation building, and as people managers, this is how we think we can contribute best to that. Yes. So again, it's October 25 to 27. You can visit our PMAP website, our Facebook page. You can contact Carol or Kevin, for all sponsors and participants. So we kicked it off last March. So we are now on really full parang campaign mode. So you will see a lot of our mga collaterals, campaigns, and slogans coming out. Eventually.
And if they want to sponsor as well, it's a great opportunity to showcase your products and services.
Yes,
Wide audience of people, managers, and HR practitioners. Ms. Joan, wala ka ng excuse not to attend. You can. It's at the waterfront, sir, right?
The Waterfront Hotel, Cebu City.
Yes.
Sounds exciting.
Yan. So again, thank you so much, Sir Mike Godinez, for being a part of our People Watch. And Ms. Joan?
Yeah. And we'd also like to thank our technical team, Martin, Ms. Sarah Niguas, our president, Ms. Beth Nasol. Thank you for joining us on our 7th. This is our 7th episode.
I think so, yes. And Sir Mike, we have audiences, we have listeners all the way from the last one, galing kay Martina Data.
May Kenya.
from Kenya, Taiwan, Mongolia.
Hindi lang Kenya, Senyo din. Sa Kenya, sa akin, sa inyo.
Yeah, see, Miss John, the
Pareho
jokes
pala
I have
kayo.
to deal with. Yeah, the jokes I have to deal with. Yeah. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Great job,
much.
great job.
And don't forget, this has been People Watch. Perspectives
Perspectives
matter.
matter.
Thank you.
Bye.